Hi, Rebecca Barker here. Welcome to the Elephant Key. It's just a place here where I kind of rant or ramble. And if it helps somebody, great. If it doesn't, so today I want to talk a little bit about grief and growth. Um, I spent a large part of my life just being really reactive and angry and bitter and feeling like I was a victim to all of my circumstances. And I really didn't take into consideration that I was my biggest problem. It was way easier just to blame everybody else for all that. So then in 2017, my mother passed away unexpectedly. And life changed dramatically from there. Uh, that was the deepest grief that I had felt in my entire life. Everybody has experienced different kinds of loss. For me, my mother was the anchor to my world, and without her, I felt like I didn't have any grounding, which is easy to understand. Um, my mom was a huge part of my life, as most moms are, but that's where I gained the majority of my direction. So, any stretch, losing my mother was huge, deep grief. And I didn't grieve the way other people grieve so much. Everybody's grief looks different. Now, we've got this misconception that grief is supposed to look a certain way, and that if you're not doing these things, then that means you're not grieving or you didn't care about somebody. Some people think that you're supposed to just marinate in the grief. You dive into it, you marinate it, you wallow in it, you don't get out of bed, you cease to be able to function, and that shows that you love that person. Because if I don't do these things, then that shows the more I grieve and the more I dig into this sadness and this sorrow, the more it shows that I love the person that's gone. The more reverence I'm showing to this person. And I guess based on your belief system, it looks a little different for everybody. I cried. I lost my shit in the moments when I could be alone. And I felt like I was doing a disservice to my mother if I wallowed in, didn't get out of bed, and slept for days. She was the kind of person who would really want me to get on with the act of living. And if I didn't learn anything from her death, then what was the purpose of her life? Like, what was the purpose of me even being here if you can't function without me? Then I didn't do my job. That was my mother's mode of thinking. So, I strangely felt a sense of empowerment when she passed. Like the life energy that resided inside of her body released this strength to me. And I felt like I was becoming a new version of myself in her passing. It was the oddest thing. I felt empowered. I felt that she would want me to feel empowered. Not because I didn't love her, but because I did love her. Because I do love her. I'm starting to get emotional now. So, with her loss and that grief, it pushed me to grow and learn more about myself and become the very best version of myself that I could be. And it's a process. It's not a destination. It's more of a journey to become the better parts of me. To learn who I am, become the more authentic who I am, and learn what my triggers are, learn what my strengths and weaknesses are. And the biggest part of that is helping other people learn who they are. Like, I can't tell you who you are, but maybe I can point you into a direction that can help you figure that out for you. Because I can guarantee your loved ones don't want you sitting around being a lesser version of the person that they know you can be. So don't get wrapped up in what other people's expectation of grief looks like. I've got quite a few friends who've lost children. That's not something I'm going to pretend to know anything about. All I know is what I've seen by witnessing their grief and their sorrow. And what I can tell you is that the person who loses a child, the life that they entered into this world, they're not, my friend says, I will never be the person I was the day before my child died. That person is no longer existent. I'm a whole different creation. And I think that if you know someone who's lost a child, you could witness that. You've seen that. And I think for my friend in particular, it's really pushed her to live her life for her child. To be the person her child would want her to be. In her situation, she is a very selfless, long-suffering person who gave and took care, and her living, sleeping, breathing, every moment was taking care of that child. And she didn't resent it. And she took pride in having the opportunity to do it for the short time that she was able to. And today, I mean, seeing her after the grief of her child, I couldn't imagine. And she says she's just never going to be the same person. So, there's something to be said for grief. It looks different for everyone. I had the fortune to talk with a woman who lost her husband a few months ago, who said, I've been so busy with everything going on, I haven't had a moment to sit still and grieve. And then for family members who have been watching their loved one going through the process of critical illness, sometimes they feel guilty because there's a sense of relief that the person is no longer in pain. I remember when I was caregiving, there was a family who were always at the edge of their seat, always being called in. This is it. This is the time. This is the time. And each time when that person bounced back, the exhausting emotional roller coaster of, is this the time we're going to lose our mother? Or is this the time we're going to lose our mother? And when they finally lost their mother, there was a sense of relief for their parent, that they didn't have to go through this over and over again. So when we go through grief, when we're going through things like this, there's an opportunity for immense growth, personal growth. If you take the power of that grief, and anyone who has experienced that, which I believe everybody has, there is such a power in grief that if you're able to switch your perspective and turn that into something positive, that is an opportunity to get astounding personal growth. Diving deep into learning about yourself, diving deep into learning about the world and your community, diving deep into ways that you can make a difference in other people's lives. Most important, making a difference in your own. For me, it was learning about all the things, investigating about grief, what happens when you die, what different cultures believe, finding some solace in that, and taking personal ownership. That was huge. Knowing that I could turn a really bad situation into something really good and something that my mom would be proud of. So it looks different for everybody. It's not gonna, your grief is not gonna look the same as mine. But your grief is an incredible opportunity for you to grow. And I believe that your loved one would want that growth for you. So with that, and whatever your growth looks like, if it means going to extra prayer groups, volunteering in your community, taking extra classes, volunteering for hospice, learning about starting a cancer society, way of charitable event, doing a 10K. Any of those things are going to be good for you. It's not going to hurt you. It's going to give you focus. It's going to give you purpose, and it's going to make you feel more alive. Because some of us get stuck in this rut where we feel like we have to die along with our loved ones. And a piece of us does die with our loved ones. But at the same time, a piece of us is birthed. And is a new aspect of ourselves is brought into the world. So with that, I'm going to let you go. If you liked what I had to say, like and subscribe and share the video. If not, sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't know what to say. Have a good day.